Welcome to another fantastic adventure. And our next destination, Buscalan. We started our adventure at our pickup points at 3 in the afternoon and traveled through inlets, then via Baguio, La Trinidad, Bontoc, El Salma Highway, and it's about 427.7 kilometers drive. It took more than 12 hours to reach our destination, with gas fill-up-in stops, CR breaks, and to grab quick eats, and not to mention the traffic in Nueva Vizcaya. We arrived at the last checkpoint before Buscalan proper at around 3:30 in the morning. We were not allowed to pass through. They mentioned that alert level 3 was imposed just last night. We had to go 2 kilometers back and we had to stand by until morning where locals would arrange for us to enter Buscalan. While waiting, we grabbed some breakfast and some photo ops with Ahado and Ihada, Joel and Jonah, and her sister Jane. Finally, we were allowed to enter Buscalan at around 9:30 in the morning, and along the way you will see the magnificent Chico River, surrounded by the mountains of the Cordillera. The Chico River is a river system of the Philippines in the island of Luzon, encompassing the regions of Cordillera and Cagayan Valley. It is the longest tributary of Cagayan River with a total length of 233 kilometers. And this has been a long time dispute between the Cordillera people and the Philippine government. We arrive at the Buscalan Information and Registration Center and we have to fill up forms before we start our 45-minute ride. And every time I come to Buscalan, this question always comes to mind. How did they get there?
Umpisa pa lang, hingal na ako. Hirap pa naman kasi mabigat yung dala mo. Mabigat yung dala. Yeah.
We were greeted by locals passing by, and we were taught how to greet good morning in Butbut language. Why you wigwikat? And also thank you. Manjaman ah.
Yeah. Hindi. Bagong daan, te.
Ano yung isa?
Doon. Oo.
Mas maganda yun?
Di ko lang alam. First time ko lumaan dito eh.
Hindi, doon.
Halos para lang din.
Struggle din.
Ano nila kasi may ano.
Dalawa nga rin sila dito.
Oo. Nandun na. Mabilis sila eh. Ang cute to.
Oo nga eh.
Yan sinasabi ko.
Oo. Pwede inumin? Oo.
Whew. Kaya ko pa rin naman para. Kaya lang yun doon medyo matarik. Ah. Stop kayo pag ano ah. Need you mag-rest.
Ay, naka-ano yan?
Kala ko na.
Naka-on. Ano? May kinakawa ng isip ko na.
Whew. Pero parang mas madali tong trail na to.
Kaya po.
Mm. Boblog lang. Bagong trail to, no? Yeah. Hindi. Bakit?
Ganda dito eh. Miss Benny, pwede magpahinga dyan ha? Pwede magpahinga na, pwede mo po. After ni ano ni.
Ay, nag-guide ah! Martes! Martes! Balik pa ako dyan sa Tinidju. Taluga, sa gana din dyan, kung siya yung gandati, kung sa'yo. Oh, pirma!
Ayan, pirma ka na ano.
After a 45-minute trek and a few exhausting steps, we arrived at the entrance of Butbut village, registered, then started our walk to our homestay accommodation. How did I get here? Curious about the history of the Butbut tribe and the Kalinga people, I did some research and found that there is a deeper meaning than just the Indigenous Tattoo and legendary mambabato Apo Whang Od. It became a forgotten story of the indigenous resistance that was covered by the media hype of Indigenous Tattoo and tourism. In the late 1960s, there were proposals to build a total of 4 dams along Chico River. Locals were wary of the destructive implications of the project. The story sounds a little familiar, don't you think? If you have watched Pocahontas, it's pretty much of the same story. The oil price hike of 1973 led the government of then-President Ferdinand Marcos to tap the German firm Lamer International and the Engineering and Development Corporation of the Philippines to develop a technical feasibility study. The Marcos administration then sought funds from the World Bank in order to fund the project. Kalinga women played a big role in the resistance. 150 papangat, or village elders and peacekeepers, from Kalinga and Bontoc created the Bodong Federation Incorporated to work against the 4 hydroelectric dams that would deluge many Kalinga villages, including sacred burial grounds and rice terraces. With the Philippines formally under martial law, the areas affected by the dam project were easily militarized. In April 24, 1980, one of the tribe leaders, Makliing Dulag, was said to have been murdered at his home, where identified elements from the armed forces opened fire on Dulag, killing him instantly. Makliing Dulag's murder became a turning point in the history of martial law. This unified the various peoples of the Cordillera Mountains against the proposed dam, causing both the World Bank and the Marcos regime to eventually abandon the project a few years after. After the Marcos dictatorship was overthrown by the People's Uprising, dubbed as People Power Revolution, the members of Butbut tribe had to move out of their ancestral lands. There were continued threats unleashed by the military and paramilitary forces under the government of then-President Corazon Aquino. As a result, the villagers were forced to look for a new safe place. At the time, they found the grassland of Rizal, Kalinga, roughly 100 kilometers away from their Okman ancestral land. The catastrophic fate of Butbut tribe and the demise of Dulag and other martyrs of the land have since intensified the struggle of the peoples of Cordillera. The violent struggle ended in 1986. This experience forced the World Bank, which had financed the project, to revamp its operational guidelines for infrastructure projects that involve indigenous peoples. The World Bank released its revised global policy on indigenous affected projects to include a wider definition of indigenous peoples, encompassing those who have close attachments to their ancestral lands and who are often susceptible to being disadvantaged in the development process. Up until the present administration, there were threats of continuing with the development of dams and still lined up with the Build project, and not only four, but a total of 17 dams. The struggles that we went through, the 12-hour drive, the 45-minute trek, and the pain of the battle was nothing compared to the struggles the Kalinga and the Cordillera people went through. Ours was not even the tip of an iceberg.
Hindi ka hindi makapasok. Buti nga, naawa.
Ah.